Alright, here's the deal. In 1 week, I need to have my Chevy van back on the road, and it's currently looking like this. And before that, I also want to do a service on the engine just to make sure that it can handle the first shakedown. Let's do this.
You know I can't listen for the storm. Hear the difference in the wind. When dark clouds form and start to turn, I'll run again. Far away when the hurricane.
The maiden voyage has finally begun. We have about 2.5 hours drive to our destination, and I think we're in about 1 hour. And so far everything is working great, and I am happy to report that even the air conditioning is working.
Sometimes a man will keep himself in shame. Mask a painful past he overcame. Oh, yes. Oh.
And it was somewhere around here that I reached my friend's place and stopped filming. The maiden voyage was a huge success. But I did speak a bit too soon about the AC working. The fan was blowing, but the air that it was blowing wasn't very cold. So that's something I have to take a look at. Just another thing to add to the to-do list. But other than that, everything worked great. Even the blow-up mattress in the back was quite alright. I've had worse nights of sleep. And we actually really got a taste of this Boogie van life, so much that we already on the way home started planning for a proper vacation in the van. So in about 1.5 weeks we will leave for the first real adventure. But before that I really have to build a proper bed. But first I will take a few days off and just enjoy the fact that I actually got the van back together in time and that it survived the first shakedown. Thank you for watching, and I see you later. Bye!